Hey guys, welcome to the next video in the series. So after the concepts video, you should have a fairly decent understanding of what computer science or programming or coding actually involves. You know, learning control flow, the likes of selection, iterations. So we're going to build on that now. We're going to actually write our first program today. So we're going to be using the language called Python. So what Python is a high-level language that requires an interpreter. And the interpreter does as it says on the tin. It's an interpreter that converts your writing into a program, basically. Other high level languages include the likes of Java, C++, and those are pretty big names. Everyone knows what Java is, essentially. So what we're going to be doing with here is first we're going to be downloading Python. So the way we do that, if you follow me, is just open up Google Chrome. And once that's open, just going to go to python.org/downloads. So that's python.org/downloads. Once we're on this website, the next thing that we're going to be required to do is this massive yellow button that says download Python 3.8.1. So just press download on that right here, and hopefully it should download it. So I've already downloaded it once before, so I'm just going to press keep. Should do it really quickly. It's only 25 megabytes, and then you just open. So I've already got it installed, but you'll see something similar to this, and you just press next and then install. Set your location that you want to install it, and then just finish that off basically. And once we're done with that, we can close Google Chrome, because we're going to be using the interpreter that Python provides. This interpreter is called idle, and the way that works is you get a terminal interface, and on there you can write commands and they'll be executed instantly, or we can create scripts. So just search for idle and it'll pop up like this. So that's spelled IDLE, and mine font's pretty big just for video purposes, but you're going to see something like this. What you want to do straight away is try a command, because come on, we're already excited to write our first computer programming command. So the first thing I'm going to make you essentially type would be the thing that everyone always types when learning a new language. So type print, put a bracket in here, or space the bracket out. It's up to you, perfectly fine. And use a air quotes and then write hello world. Close off the speech marks and close off the bracket. That is basically going to tell the computer, can you print the word hello world? Press press enter, and we're basically done. That blue text that you see right there is the outcome of our code. It's printing the word hello world. So we can build from this. This is called a command line interface. So the next thing I can test is print. Once again, brackets, but this time I can put an equation inside. So say I did 5 plus 5. Close off the brackets. Pretty straightforward, right? You'd expect the answer to be 10. And it's 10. So why is the answer 10 and not 5 plus 5? So the way Python works is if you put speech marks around something, that's basically a phrase. It will say the phrase. If you don't put speech marks around something, it will do that. So if I was to write out print and then put the speech marks in 5 plus 5, this will not return 10. This will basically just print 5 plus 5. The good thing with the terminal like this is the color coding, right? You can tell when something is in speech marks, it's in green, and when it's not. So if I was to press enter now, you get 5 plus 5. Now, if you're following with me, you've basically begun programming already. These 3 lines are all programs in themselves. They execute commands, essentially. And the 3 triangles that you see there are prompts. It tells you where to type, basically. So once we've done this, the next thing we're going to move on to do is really create your own programming file. So what I want you to do is go to File, New File, and then just select this option. Once we've entered that, you're going to see a second window pop up, and it'll just be called Entitled. In here is where we can essentially write our own code. So it's similar to the terminal window, but essentially it's called a script. So what you can do is you can run scripts, or you can write commands directly into the terminal. So the first thing I want your script to do is just to repeat hello world and close off right there. Simple as that. Hello world, print that out. Now, the way you run these scripts essentially is that you press run and run the module. You're going to ask you to save the item first. So just save that wherever it is. So I'll just call this hello world. Save that, run, and you can see right there, your first ever script has just been executed. So in the last 5 minutes, what you've basically learned is that Python is a high-level language. It requires an interpreter. You've learned how to use the Python idle and terminal window to execute commands. And finally, you've learned how to create scripts in Python. These three are the basic fundamentals of coding, and that's all we're going to be really learning today. I know it's really simple, but that is essentially your own program. In the next lesson, we're going to look into assigning variables. What variables are those data types that we talked about in the first lesson, and that will basically cover how we discussed x equals a plus b. How do you write that out? But for today, this is the basics. This is your first application essentially, and I hope you guys have had fun. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time.